Hi, I'm Joe Freeman of the Oregonian. This is Mike Richman of the Oregonian. Yet another Blazers win, and yet another impressive Blazers win Sunday night here at the Moda Center. Tonight, 115-111 over the Utah Jazz. And I know what you're thinking, this might sound crazy, but in a lot of ways, this win was more impressive than the win Friday night against the reigning champion Warriors. As fun and insane as that win was, tonight's was far more important. This was a game the Blazers won to give them a tiebreaker for postseason seeding against the Jazz. They now own they won 3 of 4 against them, so if there is a tie, if that should happen at the end of the year, they would own the tiebreaker over the Jazz, either to get into the playoffs or for seeding purposes, so very important there. Also, it keeps their momentum going. This was their 5th win in a row. They've now won 14 of the last 17, and more, little by little, you really have more and more reason to start to believe that this team is real. And you look at how difficult the closing schedule is for this team. What they've done recently, particularly over the last 2 games after the All-Star break, is proven that they're ready for what lies ahead. Tonight, contributions from a lot of people again. Another big night from Mo Harkless. Another under-the-radar performance from Mason Plumlee. 2 big scoring nights from Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, who both topped 30 points. And coincidentally, Damian Lillard, when he did get to 30 points, became the first player since Clyde Drexler in 1991 to score 34 games in a row.
Yeah, I thought Noah Vonleh also had a really solid first half. He didn't play much down the stretch as per usual, but he was really good in the minutes that he did play. Ed Davis contributed some solid defense, and CJ McCollum had 31 points and it was a quiet 31. You don't always see that with him. He's more of an ooh and ah type scorer, and this was just a steady, got buckets when they needed him type game. And the Blazers won a game in the clutch. They sort of all of the things that were problems in December, this team has sort of grown out of them. They're much better on defense than they were. They're much better in the clutch than they were, and they have depth. They have true, reliable depth and consistency up and down the roster. Pretty much everybody but Myers Leonard, who played tonight, played well, and that's sort of how you make this big jump into being all of a sudden a surprise playoff team.
Yeah, Myers Leonard, after not being in the rotation against the Golden State Warriors, rejoined the rotation tonight, but played less than 7 minutes in the first half. It was a rather forgettable 7 minutes. Yet again, Mo Harkless played far, far better, and he quietly is becoming one of the more impressive storylines here moving forward. I think that was like the 5th game in a row he's reached double figures in scoring. To give you his exact stats, he finished with 17 points and 7 rebounds in 25 minutes, had an incredible stretch in the second half in which the Blazers and the arena fed off the energy and the crazy plays he was making. And speaking of the arena, this place feels a lot like it has in playoff seasons past. You're starting to feel the city and the fans get behind this team. And this was not as, it's a 4-point win, but it seemed closer than that. In fact, it did come down to CJ having to hit free throws down the stretch. He hit 4 free throws over the final 20 seconds or so to ice the game. But it really was close. In fact, the Blazers trailed by as many as 13 points in this game. But right now, they're seemingly invincible.
Well, they're pretty good. I don't know about invincible. They've got a tough stretch coming up.
Can't I exaggerate and get caught in the moment?
They've been vinced a few times this year. That's definitely true. That 13-point lead, it went away in a minute and 37 seconds. Damian Lillard hit 4 straight threes in the 3rd quarter and then tied the game with a dunk about a minute later. He was really good when the Blazers looked like the game was slipping away, and lucky for them, they've got a sort of maybe an easy one, maybe a trap game by some other standards. They play Brooklyn on Tuesday, and we'll talk to you then.